Hi, everyone. It's LA Dance Diary Tuesdays. Let's go.
Okay, we're back with season 2, dropping a new episode every Tuesday. I'm Rach.
I'm Abby, and this one's going to be fun because a lot of people ask me about this all the time. And I feel like anyone who is in LA pursuing something fun and creative and a big dream gets asked this all the time. We're talking
Absolutely.
moving to Los Angeles.
How did we get here? How did we get here?
What's
Where
the
are we
story?
from?
What
'Cause
happened?
Clearly, you have an accent that is not from LA.
This is a swiftly fading accent. I am British. I'm like
No,
British
don't let it
American at this point.
go.
See,
I know
British,
you are.
British. I'm
You've
American.
you've got a mix.
We got a little twang. I've been here
Oh
a
my
long
gosh,
time.
I love your
okay?
voice. I think you have the most lovely voice
Thank you.
ever.
Thank
Trust
you.
me, like listening to the pod episodes, I'm like, Abby's got a much better voice
What?
than
I love your voice, so thank you. Oh my
So
God.
anyway, yeah, tell us. You're from
I'm from Manchester,
Mhm.
England, and I never thought I would move to Los Angeles. I'm going to put that one out there
Really?
first. Like
I
a
thought
lot
you
of
always wanted to move here.
no, a lot of
Oh,
people,
interesting.
would presume that you're down, so you want to move to LA. I always thought I would move to New York when I was younger. My parents would take me to
Me
New York.
too.
I loved New
Me
York.
too.
Love
That's
New
so
York.
funny. I'm learning this about you too.
I would go to New York and I'd be like, this is amazing. I would love to live
Yeah.
here one day. Never really thought it would be a possibility. So I gonna make this short and sweet-ish. Anyway,
Of course. Yeah.
so basically, I was working and dancing in the UK and doing, there was some fun jobs mixed in there. I did the London 2012 Olympics, which was a huge job. I did X Factor. I did,
And
you know,
you were in a hip hop company?
I was in a hip hop company called Boy Blue, which
Mm.
was an absolutely incredible company. And I was traveling back and forth from London to work with them and then kind of staying in Manchester, teaching some jazz classes and just kind of doing the thing, but just never fully happy over there.
Mhm.
But I never really saw it as a possibility. I'd been to America and I studied in North Carolina for a little bit. So I was very aware of my pull towards America, but I never really sat there and was like, I'm going to move to America. Like that was never a thing.
Mhm.
So I basically had completed a contract in the UK, and they didn't pay me for it for months and months and months. And it ended up like
No.
accruing interest, and then it ended up becoming this whole thing. And we didn't go to court or anything, but it was, it was like a really horrendous situation. And it was like me not really loving the UK and like some toxic work situations going on over there, combined with me not being paid this, like when I look back, wasn't even a large amount of money, but it was enough for me to have like,
I mean, you need money.
live
I mean, you need
for
to
a
get
couple
paid.
of months.
Yeah.
And you know how it is.
Yeah.
So I was just over it, and I was sad, and I was just upset, and I wasn't creatively inspired at all. And I finally got paid the money from the job, and I thought, let me get out of here for a bit. Let me go take some classes and just see what the hell's out there in the world. So I booked a 1-month trip to Los Angeles.
When was that?
That was in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
like nearly 10 years ago.
You
Nearly
had
my
your
10-year
10-year
anniversary.
anniversary. Wait,
Crazy.
It's
10 years
this
in
year.
September.
September. Okay.
Yes.
Cool,
So booked my trip to Los Angeles, booked Home for Dancers, shout out Maris from Paris. She was so cool. So I booked into this hostel and I was like, let's roll. I paid for everything in advance. The check came in, the check went out. I was like, book my flight, book my
Okay.
accommodation, take my money. Booked a class pass at Debbie's,
But
and
it
I
was
was
just
like,
a
on we
trip.
go. Just a trip.
Okay.
And then I got here and like day one, I stepped off the plane and I was like, what is this magical place that I've
That's
never been to
badass.
before? What the hell? And
That's
I was
pretty
just like
badass.
running
Wow.
around for a month, having the best time of my life,
Yeah.
just taking classes, making friends, being given opportunities straight away, which in London, I just don't feel like it happens like that. I feel like it's very, you have to be in this certain clique or you have to be in this certain pod and you have to do this certain thing to get here.
Okay.
And
it's just different.
It's just different. It's
Okay.
a different culture and you have to get there a different way. And I felt like when I moved here, or maybe it was just the way I was existing in space here, maybe
Yeah.
just the way I was presenting myself kind
You
of
were
created those
open
opportunities.
Also, like
Yeah.
you kind of came into this thing like unsure of what was to come, and your heart was like ready to go. I'm here to dance, and
Yeah.
I think people maybe just gravitated towards you
Right.
right away.
So I can't
fucking
put
great.
all the judgment on England.
That's
like,
really cool.
I see myself differently here and I
That's
act
really
differently here
cool.
because I feel like I'm home and I feel safe and I feel
Mm.
excited.
Yeah.
So, maybe that is what it was. But like, I just remember just could not believe that I had to get back on a plane. I was like, this is home. I've never felt home in England. I've traveled all over the world. I've never felt home anywhere except here.
So 2015, never looked back.
Never looked back. Well,
Never looked
unfortunately,
back.
had to look back. Ugh.
Oh.
Had to fly home.
Yeah.
Sobbed the entire way. I think the man on the plane was like, this girl is suffering grief or death because I was like sobbing. I did not
No.
want to go back. And I was like, I'm not going home. I'm going to England. That's not home. I don't like this place. So got home and I was like, okay, I'm going to work
No, you need to.
myself to the bone and I'm going to get out there soon. So I basically gave myself like I think it was about a 4-month deadline.
Mhm.
Yeah, I came back in April and I moved here in September. So April, May, June, July, August, September, 5 months.
That's
and
I mean,
I-
still a short amount of time to like prepare to entirely up and move your life
Yes.
across the world, not just across the country.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Packed up my
Yeah,
room
it's
and
crazy.
because I was living in my parents' house at the time because I hadn't even like found an apartment in England because I was like, I just don't care. Like
Yeah.
I'd given up. I really had given up on life. I was living with my parents still. So I packed up my stuff, worked I was working in a Kellogg's factory, like cereal,
Oh my god.
testing cereal. Like
Stop.
no, I
had
swear,
no
this is
idea.
a day before I moved to Los Angeles, I was working in a Kellogg's factory, like in a factory with like the hat and like the coat. And what it would do is like they would grind up
what?
cereal. I would grind it up. I would put it in this bowl and I would grind it up and then I would send it off for lab testing. And when the lab came back, I would like sticker everything and I would enter it. And I would do that all day.
Are you
Grinding,
kidding?
packaging, lab testing,
Oh my god, that's
washing lab equipment.
a whole new life.
So I was doing that on top of working,
Yeah,
like teaching dance
wow.
classes, privates. I think I was doing part-time at a chocolate shop that I used to work at. Like I was not sleeping. And I was like, I don't care because every penny I have can go towards my new life. And then packed up my 2 suitcases,
Damn.
booked in for Home for Dancers because I was like, I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know how I'm going to drive. I don't have a job. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to get over there and like figure it out. So I booked 2 weeks in a hostel and thought, let's roll.
That's wow.
No
That's
job.
amazing.
Yeah, no job, no real
No
place to live, no car, not really any money, like a couple of thousand, but like not.
That's
Oh no, it must have been a little more than
insane.
that. But yeah.
But that's why you are so inspiring, and like to see like the content you post and to see like where you've come from and now who you are and like the person you are because of that and
Yeah.
because of doing that scary move and just like investing in yourself is just so inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so proud of you, first of
Thanks.
all. And like I wasn't even there in that part of your life. So I cannot imagine what it is to be like your family and have seen you go
Yeah.
through something that huge
Yeah.
and like transition and change your life
Yeah.
in such a massive way.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah. I look back, I'm like, I don't even know who the girl was that
Congratulations.
stepped off that plane, you know?
Yeah, that's
But-
like that to me is like you've done it. You've made
Yeah.
it.
And also everyone's like, was it
Congratulations.
so scary? And I'm like, no. I wish
Yeah.
I would be like, it was so scary.
Yeah,
No, it
you weren't.
wasn't. The scariest thing for me was the thought of living in England
Was
for the rest of my life.
No,
and that's
and
no
that's when
hate
you know.
to England. It's just
Yeah,
not my place.
It just isn't for you.
not my place.
Yeah, and that's okay.
So
you know?
getting on that plane was like the best
LA's not
best
for
decision
some
I've
people.
ever made in my life. The biggest,
Yes.
best risk I've ever taken. And I implore anyone that's listening to this that thinks about moving to a different country or a city, please do it.
Do
I found
it.
my life. This is
Do
my
it.
I'm living the dream life. And if I'd never got on that plane and never just was like, I'm just gonna go for it and I'm gonna figure it out later, I beg you, please do
Yeah,
it. Like
do it.
it's my bit. Like when I get messages all the time on Instagram of people being like, I'm scared to do this, or like, and I'm like, just do it. You can always go back. You can
Mhm.
always go back. If it doesn't work, you can go back. As long as you have a little bit of money, save up, be smart, don't be crazy,
Right.
be a little crazy, but be as prepared as you can with
yeah,
what you
as
have.
you can with
But
what you
just
have.
go. Don't wait to save up $25,000. Don't wait until you have a job. Don't wait
Mm.
until these things are perfect. Just go do it and just believe that you can figure it out.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for that over prepping phase where like you
Yeah.
think you need something. You're never gonna have it figured out totally, so you might as well just start.
Yeah.
You know.
Just make the leap
Yeah,
and like figure it out
that's
later. I swear.
So true.
Perfectionism will like kill your dreams.
Wow.
I truly believe
Yeah.
that. And I've carried that with me ever since I moved here. It's like, if I can get on a plane and travel, 5,500 miles with just blind faith and it worked out, then what else can I
What
do if I
can you
just get it started? Just start.
I
and
think that's
just
so
make it
beautiful
better
that
along
you
the way.
just said that. And I just want to say it again. Like, that's why it is so important to do things that scare you, because the second you do them, you're re-showing yourself how amazing you are and how confident you should be in yourself because you can do it.
Bet
And
on
if you do
yourself.
this massive thing,
Yeah.
imagine 100 times more massive what you could do.
Yes.
You
You
know?
get it. You
So it's-
prime yourself
You're
to take
priming
risks.
yourself to take risks. It's so important.
So
I've been reading
important.
about this. I'm so glad you said it.
Oh,
That's why I
have
was like, let me
goosebumps 'cause
say that again.
I'm so passionate about it, and I just want
and
to
I'm
like
talking to my clients about it. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, yes, yeah.
Do
the
it.
thing that scares
it.
you.
Just
do
do
it.
it.
Just do
And if you
it.
fail, just try again or try it a different way. Or like you can't figure it out until you've tried it. And you
Right,
might
and
try
that's
it
what,
100 times.
Absolute worst case is it's not a great experience and you don't do it again.
What are you going to do? Die? You're not going to die, hopefully.
Hopefully. Oh my God, no. I'm like, like,
But you know, like
yeah.
you putting out that project, you
Mhm.
moving to the different country, you saying yes to going on that date, like all of these things, like, you know,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, you
Take
have
the
a very, very strong and unconventional move to LA story.
Yes.
Mine is not as strong and unconventional, but it is a story.
it's a story.
So-
You moved to Los Angeles and you
I
were
did
from
move to LA. I'm from Virginia.
So that's
So I'm
across the country.
Yeah, so I'm
Huge.
from a really, really small town.
Yeah.
I'm like northwestern Virginia, so
Mhm.
it's like close to DC. But
Oh.
I say that to say it's a very like fairly liberal pocket of
Yeah.
Virginia, even though it's the South.
Mm.
But it's like bumblefuck and
Mm.
like woods and
Yeah.
you know farms next to me and like those
Wow.
kinds of things. So growing up my whole life, like driving to get everywhere is miles, not sitting in traffic driving. So
Mm.
like it took 30 minutes to get to the dance studio every single day. Like I'm from a very, 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 very small town.
Yeah.
So I was desperate to get out. I was
Yeah.
like,
Like, get
I
me
gotta
out,
leave.
get me out here.
I can't. I am meant for show
Yeah.
greatness.
Yes.
I need to be on a stage. I also thought I was going to be a New York girl.
Wow. I can't believe that we didn't
that's
know
why
this.
I was like, I didn't know this about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, just growing up for me and the place I grew up in America, very college focused. So
Yeah.
it was like, I maybe thought for 1 second about not doing college, but I was going to do college. So I had like, well, this is funny because I don't know if you know this, that I went to a math and science high school.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So I went to a math and science high school.
So that's where they like actively push you. Like those are the
Mhm.
main parts of the syllabus.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
I actually went to 2 different high schools, one for the math and science. So you would
Oh.
do math, science, and research. So I spent 2 years doing a research project with mouse fat cells and culturing them in like a little hood with pipettes and stuff. Yeah. So I was a nerd.
This
I was
is
a
crazy. I did not
big
know this about
nerd.
you. Okay.
Yeah, I was a big nerd. And then I would have my normal high
Yeah.
school where like in America, a lot of us have AB days.
Yeah.
So like just English, humanities,
Yeah.
like all that stuff was at the other school. So my life was school, dance at night, school, dance at night, school, dance at
Mm.
night. So I was going to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about going to a, math and science program. I got accepted to Princeton University. So I was thinking about going there. But I also got into NYU for the Tisch program, and had thought I was going to go to Tisch.
Yeah.
That's where I wanted to go. New program, USC. Brand new school. It caught my eye.
Yeah.
In LA. So it was an opportunity to go to college for dance, but to be the first class of dance majors
You guys were the first class of dance majors
Yeah.
at that USC program.
at the USC program. So USC
Wow.
Kaufman School of Dance was founded in 2015. 2015, that's when I came out here too.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was 4 years at the university.
Yeah.
And then I would say I didn't know until maybe senior year that I was like, I definitely want to stay in LA. And I think by then, I just really appreciated the life. And
Yeah.
I felt like people on the West Coast are a little more relaxed, a little
Yeah.
more like open than the East Coast. East Coast is very like driven. And like if you go to New York, like it moves at
Yeah.
a strong pace. And I like being a little more anxiety prone and tending to be more of a perfectionist.
Yeah.
I was like, I think LA is just a better place for me.
Yeah.
And I was happy, and I had an agent, thankfully, by the time I graduated.
Amazing.
Thank you. Go to. Love you guys.
Shout out Go-To.
Shout out.
They're both our
Go-To.
agents.
They're both our agents. Yeah. And yeah, that's how I ended up here. Left for about a year to work on a cruise ship at one point, but I knew I was going to come back.
Yeah. You knew it was not even a question to you.
Not even a question.
How was it leaving your family and friends and everything behind in Virginia for college?
I mean, I could ask you the same question. For college, I feel like it's a little less stressful because you know you're going to come back every so often.
It's a little less than like, this is the move because it's kind of feels maybe a little less full.
It feels
forever.
less full tilt because like especially starting in a college dorm, like you don't really start accumulating stuff until like sophomore, junior year of college.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I think like the hardest part about it was coming again from like a very academic background. And I came to a, full-on arts program where most of my peers, they went to performing arts high schools, like they've been, had experience being the dancer from a young age. And so I think that was more like the fear and more of like the hard part about it was like, oh my gosh, everyone's so good and I got to like catch up,
Yeah. What is your favorite thing about Los Angeles?
About Los Angeles? Oh my gosh, there's so many. But my favorite, I think, if I had to pick one, is like just the variety of natural elements. Like the fact that we have the beach, but I can also hike. And then if I really want to drive too far, I can go to like a lake.
Yeah.
And just feeling like I can kind of experience all those different like outdoorsy things.
Yeah.
Not that I do it all that much. I am saying it like I'm interesting, but it's not that I do it that much, but it's there.
Yeah.
And it's the fact that like, you're not landlocked, but you can experience both warm and cold weather, not too cold though. Yeah. So for me, it's just kind of like the best of everything.
Yeah.
The best of the city, but the best of also going out into nature.
Yeah.
I love it.
It is. It's got so much variety. You can do anything you want here.
Yeah. What about you? What's your favorite thing?
There's also so many, but
yeah.
I feel like the people.
The people.
Yeah. You could throw a stone and like hit someone talented that's so talented, and I think the city is built on like dreamers and people who wanted more out of their life and wanted to make things and create. And people really trash Los Angeles, and it makes me so upset because I'm like, the people I've met here are the most like just inspiring, wonderful, open, creative, ambitious humans I've ever met,
Absolutely.
And
it takes a real like, strong gut to move out here and to do that. And especially like, to do what you did. And obviously we are both fortunate to have had support emotionally from our family. And, I've had some financial support when I needed it at the time. But yeah, it takes real guts to do what we do. And I talked to my friends back home recently. I was talking to them just trying to show, because for me, it's closer to the like 5-year post-grad mark. So they're like really seeing, they're like, oh no, like you have to have resilience to
stay.
She's like, I would have left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To stay. It's like.
And that's why I've always appreciated friends like you who have been here maybe a couple more years so I can be like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't need to like worry so much. Like it takes time.
It takes so much time. And I think people forget that as well. Like, you move to Los Angeles. It's not going to happen in 3 months, 6 months, maybe not even 6 years.
Yeah.
Or maybe it will.
Maybe for you it does.
Everyone's journey. I've seen
different.
people move here and book dream job in a month. And I've seen people stay. But I think that's, you have to give it time. And I think the more time you spend here, the better Los Angeles gets.
I think so too. And I was going to say, like, even some of those people who did move and book the thing right away, maybe were the first to quit.
Yeah.
And you're like, why?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just you have to have patience.
Yeah. Give it some time. Yeah. Let it build, grow, enjoy the journey, enjoy all the good and the bad. It's life.
It comes with ups and downs. And of course, we talk so much about how we love our lives in LA. it wasn't always easy.
Yeah.
you
Took
know?
time to build this.
And shoot, it's not always
Yeah.
easy now.
Yeah.
But, we wouldn't trade it for the world, I
No.
don't think.
No,
So,
never. And
yeah.
we will get into some like crazy stories in another episode.
eventually. I was like,
We'll share we did the good part right now. We're like, yeah.
that was the more like wholesome, how did we arrive?
Yes.
But
There
of
is
course,
some
we've had
nuts
some great, we
things went
both have
down.
had weird roommate
Yes.
stuff. Like, just a
Oh
lot.
my goodness. So we will
More
get
to
into that in another
come.
episode, I promise.
More to come. But for now,
now-
signing off. Thank you guys again for watching, listening,
Yeah.
tuning in on your favorite podcast channel, whether that's Apple or Spotify. We're there. Full videos up on YouTube.
YouTube. You want to
as
see
well.
us? I did a full beat for this, So please watch
said,
that. I'm kidding.
I did not do a full beat, but I did some space
You look
buttons.
perfect. Shut up.
Let's
right.
do it. We'll see you guys next
week.
Tuesday. Have a great one.
Have the best day.
Yay.
Bye.